And if you weren't here yesterday, you will see the activity that is coming. And once I'm done going through this family, I'll give you guys the tasks and the tools and the instructions for all of this. Just so I'm aware, hands up if you were away yesterday. Dang, I have 4. Okay, that'll work. 5, we can make 4 work. It was perfect. I had 6 away in the other class, which was 2 groups of 3. So here we go. This family of monsters brought to you by an unnamed group. Here are the genetic codes that they got, the genetic instructions that they got for the female monster. We're going to go in order: female, male, child. So there should be, on this monster, there should be 2 small red eyes. The monster should be, what should the monster be? This was co-dominant. So if it's co-dominant, it's BB, double B? Yeah. So if it's co-dominant, double B, hold on. You guys have competing information on your sheets. Interesting. Oh, it's the grade 12s. Which one is this one? Okay, cool. So this is actually not a problem, because the 2 parents have the same thing written. Okay, so this is a good example of this too. Communicating within your group is wildly important. Before anyone hands this thing in, I want to make sure that you guys as a group have sat down together and make sure that the information you have on the genetics tables is consistent. Here, this doesn't actually matter, because we're going to take a look at this one. If we have BB, and they should both be the same, first of all, they should both be the same size, because codominance means neither one of these is dominant. Codominance means that if it was CYCB, they should have showed up with both traits, as was written down by this individual here, this group member here. This group member said it was CYCB, and it should be yellow-black. This would be correct if CYCB had been drawn. But if I compare this handout with the other 2 handouts, both of the other 2 group members say that the code should have been CBCB. So I don't know if, Matthew, there was miscommunication, or if whatever happened. But it ultimately doesn't matter, because Matthew, you were not tasked with drawing the mother, you were tasked with drawing the baby. So you just need to make sure you go back and fix this guy, and then you're fine. Like, there's no redrawing that has to happen. The other thing that I allowed for was some creative license with traits that had not been identified. So let's go through this quick. CBCB means it's got to be black. Big T means the mom needs to have a tail. Big S means sharp teeth. Big H, little h means there needs to be 2 horns. It has both long alleles, so it should have long fur. And then it looks like they were both recessive for the wings, so mom should have wings. Here's mom. I'm assuming these red things are wings. They look like wings. Mom was supposed to have long fur. And so and see, this is where things get interesting. As long as relative to the other 2 monsters, this is considered long fur, we're good. We might want to, whichever of the 3 of you gentlemen drew mom, might want to make fur a little bit longer. I don't know, let's compare to the other monsters, but we needed 2 small red eyes, there they are. We needed it to be black, mom's black. Mom's fur is black. We needed a tail. There is a tail. We needed sharp teeth. Mom's got sharp teeth. We needed 2 horns. There they are. Long fur and wings. We definitely have wings, and there was clear evidence that it was made that the fur needed to be long. Now, I mean, it depends on the rest of the family. One could argue that this is medium length fur, but I don't know. Let's take a look at the other ones. This is mom. Here's dad. I'm not sure how dad managed to woo mom. Someone's punching above their weight class here a little bit. That is not a critique on the drawing. The drawings are very good. But there's a relationship, like there's always a reacher and there's always a Well, that's from How I Met Your Mother, I think. Here we go. So the male monster needs to have one large red eye. Male monster needs to be black. Male monster needs to have a tail, sharp teeth, 2 horns, medium length fur, no wings. Here's Dad. How Dad ended up with Mom, I don't know. But Dad, he's cute. Yeah, it's like Hagrid's parents. Exactly. He's cute. I like it. That's great. So, does he have one large red eye? You bet. Is he black? Yes. Does he have a tail? Should he have a tail? According to this genetic information, he should. But that's okay. Tails are easy to add. They are not so easy to get rid of. There's not been a tail. Oh, there was a tail that was started to be drawn. I don't know why it was erased. Whichever one of the 3 of you did this one, I know. I'm not going to out you to the rest of the class. Tail needs to go. According to this genetic information, a tail needs to be there. The teeth are sharp. The teeth are sharp. There are 2 horns. There's 2 horns. Medium length fur, no wings. So, is this medium length fur relative to this long fur? Like, that's where we need some consistency. Yeah. One could argue if this is long fur, perhaps this is medium fur, and then short fur there would have been nothing. Would have been like you could have just drawn it and colored it in and had no indication of fur. But one could argue that that's absolutely medium fur. So the only critique here on Dad is that Dad should have a tail and Dad does not have a tail. That is easy to go back and add. There you go. There's Mom and Dad. So somehow, Mom and Dad, there's Mom, I'll zoom out a little bit here. These 2 decided it would be a good idea to have this little monster. And I can actually refer to them as monsters, not colloquially, because they are actually monsters. Here's the genetic information for baby that we need. Baby should have somehow, this is interesting, baby's going to have 2 small eyes. Dad's got 1 big, Mom's got 2 small. Baby should have 2 small eyes that are white. Interesting. Mom and Dad both have red eyes. They've made a baby with white eyes. Fascinating. That is because if we go back and take a look at Mom and Dad, Mom was heterozygous, so was Dad. It's entirely reasonable that 2 heterozygous parents have a recessive traded baby. Entirely reasonable. Well done. I'm glad it popped out that way. We have the baby needs to be black, have a tail, sharp teeth, 2 horns. If it's long and short, baby should have, long and short means medium. So it needs to be consistent within the family. If baby and Dad both have medium and Mom is long, then baby needs to have the same length for Dad does. And as long as it's consistent within the drawings, we're good. So we're going to compare in a second. And this happens to be a girl. I'm assuming one of those W's is supposed to be big W, no wings, which is entirely reasonable. Dad had no wings, and no wings is the dominant trait. So let's take a look at baby. Okay. So baby needed to have, let's go through it again, 2 small white eyes. Does baby have 2 small white eyes? Yes. Is baby black? Yeah, yes. Does baby have a tail? Yes. Sharp teeth? You bet. 2 horns? Absolutely. Does baby have the same length for his dad? Because they should. Yes. I don't know if I'm drawing one of these monsters in isolation, I'm not sure that either of them have medium length fur. But there is consistency within the group, and that is what I was hounding you guys for yesterday. As long as we're consistent within the group, if this is considered medium and they both exhibit that trait, we're good. I love it. And then, where's the last trait? No wings. Baby's got no wings. Here is the monster family, the completed monster family. Well done, gentlemen. And there's lots of moving pieces here. If the only thing that was missing is a tail on Dad that should have been there, that's easy to fix, and we've got this adorable little family. It's very adorable. Well done. Looks like Mom. It's got the more the humanoid side of things, but it definitely has some Dad influence going on here. There's definitely some, which is great. This is exactly what I wanted. Okay, I do not have ridiculous artistic ability. I have no expectation for ridiculous artistic ability, and that's not what I'm grading you on, is ridiculous artistic ability. This is fantastic. Okay? And whoever drew the baby, take great, I mean, all three of you did a great job, but when the whole class sees the baby that you've drawn and goes, aw, that's a huge win. Well done. So, what I have just done here is modeled what I want you guys to do within your groups as you have a completed family. I want you to evaluate what you've done. I want you to, and now I'm going to hand these back to those three guys, and those three guys are going to get together. If they haven't answered the questions already, the back page has, oh, maybe they did already. Oh, they totally did. Ah, this one did not. Here we go. So here are the questions. How does the baby monster differ from the parents? Are there any traits that the offspring has that neither parent has? If so, how could this be? I would like more than just looking at the, if your whole group is here, more than just looking at the genetic code. I want you to include some of the design choices that you've included. Whichever one of the three of you decided that mom was more humanoid, and dad, whoever drew the dad, decided that dad was not going to be humanoid, even though that was not listed as part of the genetic instructions, talk about how the baby is absolutely a blend of both of these parents. There's a little bit of humanoid, there's a little bit of more monster. Even in the choices you made that were artistic, I want you to address those in those last couple questions. If you have, and today, this last bit of today is very much going to be a work period for you to go through and now finish this. Your first task is, if you were away yesterday or if your monsters are not completed, those need to be done today. And I want you to, if possible, you've got an hour, just under an hour, as a group, analyze your family of monsters and answer those questions. So if possible, get your whole group together, do what I just did, looking at, because some of you may not have seen your partner's monsters yet. Get together with the family, mom, dad, baby, take a look, ooh and ah over your guys' design choices, and have that discussion, answer those questions. If you are able to finish the monsters, but you're not able to finish question number 2, put your phones away, guys. If you're not able to get to question number 2, then what you guys need to make sure you do is, so that on your own you can do this analysis, every group member needs to leave today with a picture of each other's monsters. So that all three of you have these 3 pictures. You'll have your own that you created, and the other 2 from your partners on your phone. Take a picture of their work, and then you can go ahead and answer those questions on your own. This needs to be handed in tomorrow at the latest. And then if you've done 1 and you've done 2, and you still have time left in class, I want you to jump to 3. And in your monsters, do genetics questions from the booklet. There are some questions that I did not assign out of the codominance, incomplete dominance section, and there's a whole section there that I have not assigned to anybody called 1.2 assessment. It's matching and multiple choice, and there might be some written questions. It's at the very end of this middle section, before you get to there's a page called mutations. That's the next lesson we're going to look at. The next section of our unit is mutations, natural selection, and artificial selection. We're going to look at those 3. And for the sake of time, and I would like to be able to get through physics and astronomy if at all possible, I've talked about it a few times, but I'm going to tell you now, I'm not going to give you guys the genetics presentation. We're going to take that out, just because that will eat up like a week, and I'd still like to get through a couple more things. So you guys are not going to be presenting in front of your classmates. Maybe some of you will leave, some of you might be disappointed. Sorry. You guys are going to do me words. You guys are going to write for me a quiz before the end of this week, and I'm leaning towards it being on Thursday because there's no school Friday and tomorrow's too soon, on the genetics portion of this. So everything we did from the heredity charts to the end of the 1.2 assessment is fair game for this quiz that you're going to write for me, likely on Thursday. Except unless you're away on Thursday, then come to actually probably right. Okay, so this is your task for today. I want so now get back with your groups and put these pieces together. If your groups aren't here and you're unable to, well, as much of your group is here, get with that group. If you're alone, I don't know if anyone is alone. If you're alone then and can't do anything more, then answer, and you have no way of getting in contact with your other group members. Answer the questions as best as you can using just the genetic information in the charts. Hypothetically, what mom and dad or baby would look like or not related to each other. And then jump to these questions. All of you have stuff to do. Get back with your groups, move to where you need to move to. If you were away yesterday, come see me over here. Johnny. Oh, right. So then Matthew, Johnny, and Kohi. Well done, gentlemen. Is it Kohi? Yes. Matthew, Johnny, Kohi. Well done. Get together. Make sure that you can answer those questions. Dad needs a tail. Really quick, make that happen. Okay. Where am I away? My absences. If you were away, come on down. Oh, you didn't finish this. Wait. Okay. You had so much time to get this done yesterday. Okay, so here we go. Here's your guys' task. You're doing the same thing I just did. I have 5 of you. Okay, that's better. Mohammed, who were your partners yesterday? Okay, cool. So move over there. You have Daniel. John, you're spacer now. We're Mohammed. Let's say you guys stay together. Okay, so here's the task. I'll break you guys up into groups here in a second. You're going to make family monsters. You're going to make, to make mom and to make dad, what you're going to do is you take 2 dominoes. And for each one of these traits, so eyes, eye color, number of eyes, eye color, fur color, tail, teeth, all of those, you guys are going to take these 2, you're going to shake them up, you're going to throw them down on the table, and what shows up is going to be what alleles you get. There's 2 dominoes because you're going to have 2 alleles for every trait. So mom here has, the dots are, oh, it's stuck in the back of my thing. Cool, I don't need that anymore. Thank you, Cody. Dots is heads, blank is tails. Make sure you don't take the double 0. So if this is mom, mom's going to be biggie, phenotype, 2 small eyes. If it doesn't say, it's complete dominance. Complete dominance is if there's at least 1 dominant allele, the dominant trait shows up. Color is codominant, fur is incomplete dominance, wings are sex wings. So if that's what you get, I'll show you the one that I drew. So for this one, I would have flipped 2 tails and I would have got 1 large eye. E, 1 large eye. I did the same thing for dad. Shake, shake, shake. Boom. That's what I got. So dad is heterozygous for that particular trait. Because it's complete dominance, heterozygous means dominant traits the one that shows up. Then, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead, and once you've got all the traits for mom, all the traits for dad, you're going to make Punnett squares for every trait. So mom was lowercase e, dad was uppercase e. So the Punnett square is going to have these, it's going to be heterozygous, homozygous, recessive. To figure out which trait your baby's going to get, you're going to draw a card. Because you've got a spade, a club, a heart, and a diamond. It's random, I shuffled them. Draw a card. Oh look, she drew a diamond. Diamond's the one that shows up. So then baby on this chart is going to be lowercase e, 1 large I. So baby had a 2-eyed dad, 1-eyed mom, baby's 1-eyed. And you're going to for all the traits. Once you've got that, then you're going to figure out how the drawings are going to happen. The group of 2. Here's what we're going to do. Whoever the group of 2 ends up being, once you've got the genetic code done, come see me, and I will use AI to generate for you one of the parents. I demonstrated that in class yesterday. I used the AI image generator. So I'll just type in the description of the monster. AI will create it, and that will be one of the parents. And then you guys, the group of two, will have to select who's going to draw the other parent, who's going to draw the baby. So, questions about the activity? Okay. Ask your partners. If you guys don't need to talk anymore, you can have conversations happen and you're good to go. No, you got to pick a hand. Cool. You got domino. You're on family domino. You are on family no domino. You're on family domino. Okay, I want you to rock, paper, scissors. So the three dominoes, you guys are a group. The no dominoes, you two are a group. You have your task. Get to it. Here are the handouts that you need. Here's the tools that you need. Take and go. No domino. Here's a set of cards. And let's see you and Sarah working together. Love it. Yeah. You've got your sets already. Yeah, I just gave you the ones that I used. Here's a chair. And then we will use an AI generator to create the other parent. Oh, that was the other piece. So then Sahesh and Severy and Angel. Once you've got your genetic codes done, the three of you are going to choose. One of you is going to choose to draw mom. On this page right here where it says that everyone's drawing a baby, I want you to change it. It says now draw your baby monster. I want one of you to draw mom, I want you to draw dad, I want you to draw baby. Like I demonstrated. You guys choose however you want to choose. And then change the word for whoever's drawing mom. Cool? Yes. Okay, so you can't use something until this is done. So on this page, you guys are making all of the unit squares to different traits. So if mom is baby, so both parents are heterozygous for the same. You're going to go tell, you're going to go big T, little t. Now you get the cards. Oh, and you want to work ahead because you have living parents. You're doing the baby. Oh, and you changed yellow to right in here. Blue.
All right, we got green. Let me get you green and yellow. Can go sharpen them for us? Nope, let's go move. No, focus. We got work to do. Work first.
So. Okay. What you've kind of done here is screwed up. As long as we're working all things together. So some of these traits don't matter because like, some of them they don't matter, but like if your genotype is biggie and biggie, you don't have it. So one of the squares is really big. Like baby has no choice but to have two small ones because of the genetics. But for something like tail, that's going to be an interesting one. You do all the work. You drew a state. So having drawn the state means after the concept square is done, drawing a spade means this is the box that baby's going to get. So now baby's going to be big T, big T. Baby, that's what that means. So big T means that baby will have a tail. You're going to do it for all the traits. Some of them you won't have to do it. You can see obviously that every box is the same. You don't have to draw a card for that. But if any of the boxes are different from any of the other boxes, you have to draw a card for each one. There you go. So then I want you to complete this as a group. So help Brooklyn get this thing done. She was the only one who really couldn't draw anything last night. If she also had no time, well then that's. If it wasn't going to be done anyway, that's not that big. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we have 2 more lab activities. 2 more? Yeah. Why the whole year? Well, in biology.
This one's a good one. How many? This one's a lot better.
You're going to breed dogs for me next. Why? Yeah, it's going to be great. Okay. Okay, what are we working on? Right, and you're going to the. You got your picture done, you got some questions, you go with your group and see everybody? Yeah. Okay. Almost done. Okay. And when he is done, you got to take pictures of each. If you have nothing else to do right now, then jump to the questions. Yes. Hello. Yes, all of you should have the same female monster data, male monster data, and baby monster data. Like that should be completed. All of so the 3 of your partners. Yeah, you should all have the same information for each one of these tables.